No, the polarity was created at the earlier stage when our mind chose the present moment as bad. This judgment then created the negative emotion. But if you call some emotions negative, aren't you really saying that they shouldn't be there? That it's not okay to have those emotions? My understanding is that we should give ourselves the permission to have whatever feeling come up rather than judge them as bad or say that we wouldn't have them. It's okay to feel resentful. It's okay to be angry, irritated, moody, or whatever. Otherwise, we get into repression, inner conflict, or denial. Everything is okay as it is. Of course, once a mind pattern, an emotional reaction is there, accept that. You are not conscious enough to have a choice in the matter. That's not a judgment, just a fact. If you had a choice or realize that you do have a choice, would you choose suffering or joy, ease or unease, peace or conflict? Would you choose a thought or a feeling that cuts you off from your natural state of well-being, the joy of life with it? Any such a feeling I call negative, which simply means bad. Not in the sense that you shouldn't have done that, but just in plain factual bad, like a feeling sick in the stomach. Only people who are in a deeply negative state, who feel very bad indeed, would you create such a reality as a reflection of how they feel. Now they engage in destroying nature and the planet that sustain them. Unbelievable, but true. Humans are dangerously insane and very sick species. That's not a judgment, it's a fact. It is also a fact that the sanity is there underneath the madness. Healing and redemption are available right now. When you complain, you make yourself into a victim. When you speak out, you are in a power. So change the situation by taking action or by speaking out if necessarily possible. Leave the situation or accept it. All else is madness. Ordinary unconsciousness is always linked in some way with the denial of the now. The now, of course, also implies that they are here. Are you resisting your here and now? Some people will always rather be somewhere else. Their here is never good enough. Through self-observation, find out if that is the case in your life. Wherever you are, be there totally. If you find you here and now intolerable, and it makes you unhappy, you have three options. Remove yourself from the situation, change it, or accept it totally. If you want to take responsibility for your life, you must choose one of those three options, and you must choose now and accept the consequences. No excuses, no negativity, no psycho pollution. Keep your inner space clear. If you take any action, living or changing your situation, drop the negativity first, if at all possible. Action arising out of the insight into what is required is more effective than action arising out of the negativity. Any action is often better than no action, especially if you have been stuck in an unhappy situation for a long time. If it is a mistake, at least you learn something, in which case it's no longer a mistake. If you remain stuck, you learn nothing. Is fear preventing you from taking action? Acknowledge the fear, watch it, take your attention into it, be fully present with it. Doing so cuts the link between the fear and your thinking. Don't let the fear rise up into your mind. Use the power of the now. Fear cannot prevail against it. If there is truly nothing that you can do to change your here and now, and you can remove yourself from the situation, then accept your here and now, totally dropping all inner resistance. The false, unhappy self that loves and feeling miserable, resentful, or sorry for itself cannot then no longer survive. This is called surrender. Surrender is not weakness. There is a great strength in it. Only a surrender the person has a spiritual power. Through surrender, you will be free internally of the situation. You may then find that the situation changes without any effort on your part. In any case, you're free. Or is there something that you should be doing but are not doing it? Get up and do it now. Alternatively, completely accept your inactivity, laziness, and passivity at this moment. If that is your choice, go into it fully. Enjoy it. Be as lazy and inactive as you can. If you go into it fully and consciously, you will soon come out of it. Or maybe you won't. Either way, there is no inner conflict, no resistance, no negativity. Stress is caused by being here but wanting to be there, or being in the present but wanting to be in the future. Enjoy the flow of energy, the high energy of that moment. Now you're no longer stressed, no longer splitting yourself into just moving, running, walking, and enjoying it. But when you do, watch your mind. It may say you should be working. You're wasting time. Observe the mind. Smile at it. Are you worried? Do you have many what-if thoughts? You're identified with your mind, which is projecting itself into imaginary future situation and creating fear. There is no way that you can cope with such a situation because it doesn't exist. It's a mental phantom. Become aware of your breathing. Feel the air floating it out of your body. Feel your inner energy field. All that you ever have to deal with COVID in a real life, as opposed to imaginary mind projections. At this moment, ask yourself what problem you have right now, not next year, tomorrow, or 5 minutes from now. What is wrong with the moment? You can always cope with the now, but you can never cope with the future, nor do you have to. The answer, the strength, the right action or the resources will be there when you need it, not before, not after. There is nothing wrong with surviving to improve your life situation. You can improve your life situation, but you cannot improve your life. Life is primary. Life is your deepest inner being. It is already whole, the complete, perfect. Your life situation consists of your circumstances and your experiences. There is nothing wrong with setting goals and striving to achieve things. The mistake lies in using it as a substitute for the feeling of life. For being, the only point of access to that is the now. You are then like an architect who pays no attention to the foundation of building, but spends lots of time working on the superstructure. For example, many people are waiting for the prosperity. It cannot come in the future when you honor, acknowledge, fully accept your present reality, where you are, who you are, what are you doing right now. When you fully accept what you have got, you're grateful for what you have got, grateful for what is, grateful for being. Gratitude for the present moment and the fullness of life now is true prosperity. It cannot come in the future. Then in time, that prosperity manifests for you in various ways. So give up waiting as a state of mind. When you catch yourself slipping into waiting, snap out of it. Come into the present moment, just be and enjoy being. If you're present, there is never any need for you to wait for anything. So next time somebody says, sorry to have kept you waiting, you can reply, that's alright. I wasn't waiting. I was just standing here enjoying myself. Enjoy in myself. Your life is a journey has an outer purpose and an inner purpose. The outer purpose is to arrive at your goal or destination to accomplish what you set out to do. To achieve this or die, which of course implies future. But if your destination or steps you are going to take in the future take up so much of your attention that they become more important to you than the step you are taking now, then you completely miss the journey's inner purpose, which has nothing to do with where you are going or what you are doing, but everything to do with how. It has nothing to do with the future, but everything to do with the quality of consciousness at this moment. The outer purpose belongs to the horizontal dimension of space and time. The inner purpose concerns the deepening of your being in the vertical dimension of the timeless now. Your outer journey may contain a million steps. Your inner journey only has one. The step you are taking right now, as you become more deeply aware of this one step, you realize that it already contains within itself all the other steps as well as the destination. This one step then becomes transformed into an expression of perfection, an act of great beauty and quality. It will have taken you into being, and the light of being will shine through it. This is both purpose and fulfillment of your inner journey, the journey into yourself. It will matter to you as long as you haven't realized your inner purpose. After that, the outer purpose is just a game that you may continue to play simply because you enjoy it. It is also possible to fail completely in your outer purpose and at the same time totally succeed in your inner purpose, or the other way around, which is actually more common. Outer riches and inner poverty, or to gain the world and lose your soul, as Jesus puts it. Ultimately, of course, every outer purpose is doomed to fail sooner or later, simply because it is subject to the law of impermanence of all things. The sooner you realize that your outer purpose cannot give you any lasting fulfillment, the better. When you have seen the limitations of your outer purpose, you give up your unrealistic expectation that it should make you happy, and you make it subservient to your inner purpose. You mentioned that thinking and talking about the past necessary is one of the ways in which we avoid the present. But apart from the past that remember and perhaps identify with, isn't there another level of past within us that is much more deep-seated? I'm talking about the unconscious past and the conditions of our lives, especially through early childhood experiences, perhaps even past life experiences. And then there is our cultural conditioning, which has to do with where we live geographically and historical time period in which we live. All these things determine how we see the world, how we react, how we think, what kind of relationships we have, how we live our lives. How could we ever become conscious of all that and get rid of it? How long would that take? And even if we did, what would there be left? What is left in when illusion ends? There is no need to investigate the unconscious path in yourself as it manifests at this time as thought, an emotion, a desire, a reaction, or an external event that happens to you. Whatever you need to know about unconscious past in you and the challenges of the past will bring it out. If you delve into the past, it will become a bottomless pit. There is always more. You may think that you need more time to understand the past or become free of it. In other words, the future will eventually free you from the past. This is a delusion. Only the present can free you of the past. More time cannot free you of time. Access the part of now. That is the key. So deal with the past and level of present. The more attention you give the past, the more energized it, and the more likely you are to make yourself out of it. Don't misunderstand, attention is essential, but not to the past as past. Give attention to the present, give attention to your behavior, to your reactions, moods, thoughts, emotions, fears, and the desires as they occur in the present. There is the past in you. If you can be present enough to watch all those things, not critically and analytically, but non-judgmentally, then you dealing with the past and dissolving it through the power of your presence. You cannot find yourself by going into the past. You find yourself by coming into the present. It's really helpful to understand the past and so understand why we do certain things. We act in certain ways, or why we unconsciously create a particular kind of trauma, patterns in relationships, and so on. As you become more conscious of your present reality, you may suddenly get certain insights as to why your condition and function in those particular ways. For example, for your relationships and follow certain patterns, and you may remember things that happened in the past or see them more clearly. That is fine and can be helpful, but it is not essential. What is essential is your conscious presence that dissolves the past. That is the transformative agent. So, don't seek to understand the past, but be as present as you can. The past cannot survive in your presence. It can only survive in your absence.